The sounds of Big Ben, sounds that are going silent, at least for 4 years. The bell has announced the hour from Parliament's iconic clock tower in London since 1859, but Monday it will be stilled for at least 4 years for repair work on Parliament buildings. The BBC's Rich Preston joins us from just outside the tower. And Rich, tell us more about why Big Ben's going silent.
Well, Robin, this is part of major renovations at the British Houses of Parliament, a multi-billion-dollar project. And an important part of that will be this famous clock tower. That includes cleaning and repairing damage to the clock itself, but also the tower it's housed within, the roof, the masonry, and elements of the internal structure, which all need critical repairs. And they're having to switch these bells off to protect the people who are going to be working so closely to it. And that's because Big Ben chimes at 120 decibels. That's like putting your ear next to a police siren. Now, the scaffolding is already halfway up. I can see it in front of me. The repairs have started, but as you said, the bells go silent on Monday. And this is costing £29 million. That's $37 million, just the renovations to this clock tower.
You know, most people can picture this huge clock face peeling since 1859. But just remind us more of its history.
Well, actually, let's start by saying that this famous clock tower isn't actually called Big Ben. It's called the Elizabeth Tower after Queen Elizabeth. It was renamed in 2012 for her Diamond Jubilee. Big Ben actually refers to the name of the bell inside the clock tower, and that chimed for the first time on July the 11th, 1859. And when it arrived at Parliament, it was a huge ceremony. It was brought down the River Thames on a barge, taken to Parliament on a carriage drawn by 16 white horses. So it's been chiming for more than 150 years through the reign of 6 monarchs, and it's a marker in Britain. You know, on December 31st, you guys look at the ball dropping at Times Square. We here in Britain, we look at Big Ben, and it's heard daily on BBC Radio, on our domestic Radio 4, our national news network. That marks the 6 o'clock news every single evening.
Did it fall silent for the war in wartime? When has it been silent before?
Well, it has been quietened on other occasions for 7 weeks in 2007, again for repairs, and between 1983 and 1985. And that was the last time there was major repair work done to the clock. And as you know, it's a major tourist attraction. It's said to be the most photographed landmark in the UK.
Well, and people aren't happy about it going silent. Cabinet Minister David Davis says it's mad to be for so long, 4 years. Conservative lawmaker James Gray says the decision is bonkers. You've said that it's to protect the people who are going to be working up there. But what are other people saying to you?
Yes, it is a contentious topic, and it has been talked about widely in the newspapers here. Several of them highly critical. The Daily Mail, for example, said, quote, "Not even Nazi bombs could silence the famous symbol of Britishness," and it blamed this silence on health and safety regulations. So I spoke to some people on Westminster Bridge taking their photos in front of this iconic clock.
I think it's beautiful. I don't know, I think it's amazing and I like it.
And on Monday, it's going to ring for the last time for 4 years. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's a happy thing, but if it has to be repaired, it's necessary.
It's the first time that I'm visiting here, but it's Big Ben. So next to the river. It's amazing. When I'm watching that, it's like I'm riding on the history. You know, and it's amazing how they make it many years ago.
So you're lucky. You've come here, you will hear those bells ring.
Yeah.
But other people coming next year, the year after, they won't hear it ring.
Yeah.
Do you think that's sad for them?
Yeah. It shows I'm a lucky girl.
It's our first time here in London. It's beautiful. I didn't expect the gold. I thought in the pictures it doesn't do it justice.
When I think of London, this is
like the
what
main
you think
thing,
of.
yeah, that you see.
With the repair works, one of the things they're going to do is they're going to silence it for 4 years.
I'm happy we came today then.
So those are some tourists here in London from Spain, Germany and Canada. Now, after all that criticism, Prime Minister Theresa May intervened. She said it can't be right that these bells are silenced until 2021. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn said he would miss the sound of the bells, but to him, the most important issue is the welfare and safety of those working on it. He said it's not a national disaster or catastrophe and that we'll just have to work through it. But given all that criticism, the House of Commons now has said it will review the length of time needed for this construction work. That'll hopefully keep some lawmakers happy and also some of the many tourists who come to take their photos with Big Ben.
Rich Preston, the BBC, thank you.
Thank you, Robin.